Setting up your new AV receiver can be a daunting prospect. More complex models such as the Sherwood R977 7.2 channel that I'm using today have a large array of inputs and outputs, so it can be difficult to know where to start. Today I'm going to show you the basics of wiring your receiver to make your setup as simple as possible. These are general guidelines, so the rules will apply to any model. Let's start with wiring the speakers for a basic 5.1 surround sound system. First, strip the cable and firmly twist the ends. This is important to prevent loose wires which can cause a short and damage your equipment. Starting with your front speakers, insert the end of the cable into the binding post and firmly twist the binding post down to ensure a strong connection. Repeat this for your center and your surround speakers. To complete your 5.1 setup, you now need to connect your subwoofer. Your sub will have a different type of connection than your other speakers called a sub pre-out, which looks like this. If your receiver has two sub pre-outs, that means it can run two subwoofers simultaneously. That's your 5.1 speaker system connected. But if you've got a 7-channel, that means you've still got one pair of speaker connections left to use. In most cases, this pair can be assigned to different functions. You can usually select from the following three: surround back, front height, or room 2. Once the physical connections are made, then you'll be able to assign the function using the receiver's internal menu. Some receivers like the Sherwood will also be capable of running a room 3. Now it's time to make your HDMI connections. Your HDMI inputs are used to connect the outputs of your media sources to your receiver. This signal then flows through to your monitor output, which is connected to your TV or your projector. The most common inputs are the following: BD for your Blu-ray player, DVD for your DVD player, STB for your set-top box, Game for your gaming console, and AUXes for any other HDMI capable components that you want to connect. If you have a network capable receiver, then you can connect to the internet in one of two ways: a LAN connection or wirelessly through Wi-Fi. This connection will allow functions such as internet radio, media server, and more depending on what model you have. Most receivers will also have some digital inputs, such as coaxial and optical. These are used to carry a high quality audio signal through your digital components, such as your CD player. You should only connect devices to your analog inputs if you don't have a digital alternative. This will ensure that you gain the best sound quality out of your equipment. For a totally analog device such as a turntable, however, your analog inputs are your only option. You may also have some analog video inputs. The same rule applies here. Go digital as much as possible instead to get the best results. Finally, you may have a selection of other inputs and outputs such as IR, also known as infrared, RS-232C, and DC triggers. These are more expert features that go beyond your basic setup. These are usually used for home automation or complicated multi-amp and multi-room systems. You should now have all of your basic connections made. Time to pull out your instruction manual and fine-tune the settings through the receiver's menu system. Many modern receivers like this R977 have a setup microphone which allows you to do an automated speaker setup. This will give you a very accurate result. So unless you're a professional, this is the way to go. You should now be up and running and ready to get the most out of your audio equipment. Thanks for listening.